Hi everyone, good morning. I'm Peggy and I am your Seint 3D makeup artist where we use one palette, one brush to create one layer of makeup, which is mature skin friendly and it doesn't settle into fine lines and wrinkles. Seint uses 3 shades to create that one layer of makeup. They use a contour shade, they use a brightening highlight or like a concealer, and they also use a main shade. These 3 shades strategically placed on your face and blended. This is cream, so it spreads like butter. Strategically placed and blended and placed on your face, blended to create that one layer of makeup, doesn't settle into fine lines and wrinkles, and you also get a lip and a cheek. That's right, dual purpose. Lips and cheeks are blush. So let's get started. You'll need a brush to blend, and you can apply with a brush. I prefer to use my fingers. It just goes better for me if I do. So I'm going to just dip into my contour shade. If your shade is a little bit, if your cream is just a little bit hard, warm it up just a little bit with your blow dryer or your finger just to get it to where you can get it on. Now contour goes on the hard parts of the face, which are the forehead. And what this is going to do is it's going to frame your face and give you depth and definition. It's also going to lift the face. Now, I have a high forehead, so I particularly like contour because it gives it the illusion of not being as high as it actually is. Then we're going to come to that cheekbone. Feel for the roundness of the bone. And you're going to go right on top to right underneath. But you want to start right at the corner of your eye and go up towards the ear. That's where your contour is going to go. It's going to define the cheek and lift the cheek. Especially if you have a round face, contour is your best friend. Now, I'm going to just come over here, feel for the hard part, for that round bone, and go right up, right along and right up towards the ear. Now, the next place we're going to put it is we're going to define our jaw area. I have jowls. You do see right here these 2 divots. That's where my jowls are. So to not accentuate those, here's the jowl. I am going to go just up above it and right along the jawline up to my ear, the bottom part of my ear. Same thing over here, right up above that jowl, and then up towards the ear. Now, I'm going to put just a little bit on the chin. Again, see what that's doing? We're creating shadows. And shadows are going to camouflage or hide things that we really don't want people to notice. So what I'm going to do now is start at this divot, go underneath my neck, come to this divot, and connect the 2. There you go. I'm also just going to put a little bit down my neck because, guys, I have a turkey neck. It's like once you reach your 60s, sometimes your 50s, once your skin becomes mature, it's like the choices you have are either a turkey neck or a double chin. Mine is a turkey neck, so I like to camouflage that. Then I'm going to take my pinky and I'm going to get some contour on it. I'm going to rub my 2 pinkies together and I'm going to contour my nose. My pinkies are touching and I'm just going to drag them straight down the top part of my nose, the bridge of my nose. Now we're finished with contour. Contour can be used on your eyebrows and also to line your lips. So everything we need to do our face, our full face of makeup, is in this palette. Contour is also a great eyeshadow. So now I'm going to come to my brightening highlight. It is the lightest shade in my palette, and I'm going to brighten what I want you to see and where the light touches my face, which is the inner and outer corners of my eye. I'm not going underneath my eye because I have crepe skin, so I don't want to accentuate that. You want very little product, less is more with Seint. Then we're going to come to the center of the forehead and brighten there. Now we're going to come and finish the contour of the nose, and we're going to come straight down the center of the nose in between those two contour lines that we drew. Now can you see how much narrower my nose looks? That's what we're doing. We're creating shadows to where you're camouflaging and fixing kind of sort of the parts of your face that you may not like. So then we're going to hit the Cupid's bow and the corner of the chin. Now I do have folds because again I am 67. Those folds create a shadow by themselves. So since we created shadows with our contour, we're going to use our brightener to take those shadows away. And I'm just going to come right down on top of those marionette lines on either side. And we're taking away, the fold is still there, but we're taking away the shadow. So it's not as noticeable. There we go. There we go. Now I move into my main shade. Notice that I'm strategically placing this makeup where I want it to go and where I want it to stay. We're going to marry the ends together in just a minute when we blend. Now this is my main shade, and that is like a filler shade. It is also the shade that is the closest to the color of my skin. So we're going to use it to fill in where we don't have any other product. And this too is a highlight. So we're just going to place that where there's no other makeup. And then placement will be finished for these three shades to be my one layer of makeup. So you don't just keep piling on one color, because our faces, you want them to be three-dimensional because that's what they are. Now, I'm going to use a shade that's out right now, limited edition. It is called Tangerine. I love the bright shades. So let's see what she looks like. I love her. She is so pretty. There we go. Ladies, as we mature, don't be afraid of color. It's going to brighten your face. Okay. She is a gloss. She wears beautifully. She feels great. And she's not a sticky gloss, so we can use her as our blush. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to come up here and we're just going to put some tangerine right above where our contour is. There you go. This is our blush shade. And there you go. Placement is ready. My makeup is on. Now all I need to do is blend. So I'm going to pick up my 3D brush. I'm going to use the shorter end, and I'm going to spray my brush with setting spray. The reason I'm doing that is this is cream makeup, and it does need to be set. Now, you can do that one of two ways. You can do it this way, and I like to blend with a damp brush. That's me. You can totally blend with a dry brush and then come back and spray your face with your favorite setting spray. It doesn't have to be Seint's, but I just like to use Seint's. Or sometimes I double set. I will blend with the setting spray on my brush and then come back with a little bit of setting powder because I live in Southeast Louisiana and it's hot, it's humid, it's just yuck here. So let's get started with this blend. I'm going to start at my jawline simply because if I don't, I forget. And what happens then is I have all these dark lines on my face and down my neck. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, we were taught to just blend everything out. You want a soft blend with Seint. You don't want to blend it out because if you blend too much, you will blend it out. Now we're going to start right here in the bearded area of my face, and I'm going to do this little technique called stippling. Stippling is gently tapping around this makeup, and you are placing it and mashing it into your skin exactly where you want it to go and where you want it to stay. It spreads like butter. It being cream, it has warmed to the temperature of my face as it has sat there. So the blending is so easy. Excuse me, I almost dropped my brush. I'm going to flip it around and then I'm just going to stipple it under my eye. This brush is so cool because it allows you to get into the corners and not put a lot of makeup underneath that eye where the skin is very crepey for me. Again, I'm 67 years old. I'll be 70 tomorrow, it feels like. But I'm 67 years old. I have crepe skin. I have hooded eyes. I have wrinkles. I have crinkles. I have crevices. It's like I've got it all going on. This makeup has been a godsend for me. It's been a game changer. Now, we contoured the nose and we don't want to blend it out. That's the other thing. You want a soft blend. So I'm just going to tap this with my fingers so that both shades stay exactly where I put them, but they're married together. There you go. Then we're going to come up here and grab this brightener and stipple it across. Now, the contour is a little bit thicker of a consistency than the highlights are, so we're going to circle blend up into my hairline. Now, I'm barely touching my face with this brush because, again, you don't want to blend it out. You don't want to blend it away. There we go. We'll just do these soft little blends, just little circles, barely touching my face. Here we go. All right. I'm so glad you're joining me this morning. It's super early for me, but we have a busy day, so we had to get an early start. Now, coming to the contour on the cheeks and the blush, what we're going to do is stipple up and down twice to soften. Then we're going to grab it and we're just going to work it up into the temple. There we go. Now see how you can still see the color. You can still see the shadow, the contour left. Don't blend it out. That's the whole premise. This is so different with the blending and the placement from anything we've ever done. But it is so wonderful for mature skin. I really wish I had found this sooner. I had lost my love of wearing makeup. I really had. Until I met Seint. I was introduced to Seint just like you sort of are now. I watched a lady and I watched her and I watched her. She had mature skin. This makeup made so much sense once you got the hang of it. It's just wonderful makeup. Again, it's cream, so it wears like a second skin. And guess what, everyone? We are finished. Our application is done. I am good to go. I can do this whole application in 5 minutes or less. Usually it's less before I'm out the door. So you never have to go without your makeup. It's beautiful makeup. It's so mature skin friendly. What do you have to lose with a 30-day money-back guarantee? How do you get started with Seint? That is so simple. What you're going to do is stand in front of a mirror. In front of a window. You're going to look outside of the window. You're going to look out. Natural light is coming in. Pull your curtains apart and raise your blinds. And look out. Stand about a foot from the window right there. Foot and a half. No makeup. Yes, please be makeup free. And then I want you to just look into your phone straight on and take a selfie. I have I have a link and it's got 2 or 3 questions. It'll take like half a minute. It'll take longer to take your selfie than to fill out my questions. And all I want to know is like, do you have oily skin? Do you have skin that is sensitive? What type of skin do you have? Do you consider yourself fair? Do you consider yourself medium, dark toned skin? Just little things like that. It takes less than a minute to fill out the questionnaire and upload your selfie. Send it to me and I'll take it from there. All of this is 100% free, no obligation. It's my gift to you to get started with Seint. If once you get your recommendations back, you don't want to purchase, that's totally fine. Just keep watching. Let's hang out together. No problem. And again, if you're not totally satisfied